Chosen one. Pause. Read this slowly. You didn't get here by chance. And no, this message isn't for the crowd. It's for the few who reached the edge and didn't retreat. If you're looking for comfort, leave now. This moment filters people out. A gate recalibrated in the unseen. Not opened, not closed. Reassigned. A trajectory was corrected, quietly, without ceremony. Your position was reviewed. It's tied to you. Have you felt your sleep break for no clear reason? Waking right before dawn? Heart already racing? A tight pressure in the chest that comes and goes? People suddenly hesitating around you watching, then pulling back? That small moment when a call ended mid-sentence. No explanation. Just silence. That wasn't random. This is the 3-day countdown. After that, momentum decides for you. Most turn back here. You didn't. If you scroll now, you'll miss the shift. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay to the end. Comment 9 if something inside you knows this is real. That number marks alignment. Before this video ends, I'll reveal the final indicator. The one signal that confirms why you were tested here, and what moves out of your way next. Listen, here's why. You're not imagining it. You didn't misread it. This is real. The moment you didn't turn back triggered a response most people never touch. Not effort-based. Not emotion-based. A review layer activates only at the threshold when movement continues without validation, without witnesses, without payoff. That's where your pattern crossed a line. A flag was raised. Quietly, clinically. Your file entered a different monitoring tier without notifying you. Most people never trigger it. You did. This isn't mystical. It's procedural. A system that tracks consistency under pressure, not intention, logged your behavior as a deviation from the baseline. No reward signal, no encouragement, just a clean routing adjustment behind the scenes. That's why it felt sudden. That's why it felt silent, cold, clean, logged. Here's what separates this tier. It doesn't respond to motivation. It responds to pattern density. How fast you recover, how quickly you see through masks, how consistently you refuse cheap energy when no one would blame you for taking it, how you keep moving uncelebrated. That signature is rare, not dramatic, statistical. Fewer than 1 inch 10,000 sustain it past the breakpoint, not because you asked, because it's measurable. Ego never enters the file. Complaints aren't recorded. Pain isn't scored. Only continuation under compression. That's why most people collapse here. They need a sign. They wait for permission. They negotiate. You didn't. That's the difference the system recognizes. Here's the core event. Your file was pulled. Not flagged for removal. Pulled for audit. A special audit window opened for 72 hours. During that window, certain paths you used to tolerate were automatically denied. Not blocked dramatically. Just inaccessible. Requests bounced clean. Conversations stalled. Familiar routes stopped responding. Routing changed. You weren't told. You weren't warned. That's intentional. Awareness comes later. First comes separation. The countdown isn't symbolic. 72 hours is a buffer phase. After it closes, the system locks in what stays and what exits. There's a secondary marker attached to this audit: 9 logged instances in sequence. Internal confirmations. Not for you. For the record. Now check the body. Restless sleep. Waking at odd hours without anxiety. A heavy chest at night that lifts by morning. A loud mind that snaps into clarity without effort. Familiar environments suddenly intolerable. Rooms feeling wrong. Conversations draining faster than before. You're not regressing. Your tolerance band narrowed. Notice the social signals. People you used to blend with hesitate. They speak, then stop. They look at you differently, like they're recalculating. Not hostility. Repositioning. And that micro moment, you know it, the message you sent, saw marked, seen, and the silence that followed. Not rude, precise. A clean cut in signal flow. When a file is flagged at this tier, the environment resorts automatically. No revenge, no drama. People drift without explanation. Someone shifts temperature toward you cooler or unexpectedly formal. At the same time, a small door opens at the exact moment it's needed. A name surfaces. A message lands. An invite appears. An opportunity slips through that wouldn't have before. What once felt fine now feels impossible to sit with. Music, places, habits, dynamics. That's not punishment. That's alignment pressure. The system removes what no longer fits the updated routing. It doesn't ask your opinion. This phase feels lonely because it is quiet. No witnesses, no applause, just subtraction and redirection. That's why most people turn back here. They mistake silence for rejection. You didn't. You stayed upright in the gap. That's why the file moved. Nothing here requires belief. It's already executing. The only variable left is recognition. In part 2, I'll give you personalized proof. One simple check. One marker you can run today to confirm where you are in the process. Not theory, not motivation. Verification. Good. This is the proof I promised. Personnel. Specific. Lately. Have you felt tired without a reason your schedule can explain? Body heavy, even on days you didn't push? Drain test. Have you noticed a quiet internal shift, like you're not the same person who tolerated certain things last month? Recalibration pass. Have you been reading people faster than before, catching tone changes, pauses, micro reactions before words land? Sightline activation. Have coincidences started stacking, numbers repeating, names resurfacing, information appearing twice from different directions? Sync confirmation. Have familiar places or people begun irritating you instantly, not emotionally, but physically? Tight chest, urge to leave, environment rejection filter. And have you had a private moment, no witnesses, where you chose the harder, cleaner option even though no one would ever know? Integrity check. Pause there. Good. You're not being dramatic. You're not confused. You're not making it up. Those aren't feelings. They're tags. Each one marks a completed pass. Not spiritual, administrative. The system doesn't care how you felt while it happened. It records whether you moved cleanly through pressure without outsourcing your spine. That's what these labels track. Once tagged, they don't disappear. They stack. Some night, it happened quietly. You were staring at the ceiling, or standing in a doorway, or holding your phone without opening anything. Nothing dramatic, just stillness. And inside that stillness, a line was crossed. Not anger, not fear, a clean internal no. After that, the environment reacted. Someone pulled back. A test appeared. A distraction tried to bait you. Noise increased. You didn't chase it. Point of no return. That moment matters more than anything loud you've ever done. Because it wasn't performative. No audience. No future leverage. Just alignment under silence. That's when the review layer escalates without asking for your consent. Here's what people misunderstand. The system doesn't reward effort. It verifies thresholds. The threshold isn't pain. It's restraint. The ability to not reach backward when forward feels empty. That's why the proof shows up in subtraction first. Less tolerance, fewer excuses, narrower bandwidth, precision. If you recognized at least 3 of these, then your review is live. Stamped, active. That doesn't mean promotion. It means exposure. Your patterns are visible at a higher resolution now. That's why small misalignments feel louder. That's why you can't numb out the way you used to. The buffer is thinner. The routing is cleaner. The margin for self-betrayal shrank. Notice what didn't happen. No explosion. No announcement. No external validation. Just quiet rearrangement. People moving without explanation. One door opening, small and specific. Another closing without drama. That's intentional. Loud confirmation would contaminate the data. This is why doubt keeps trying to whisper. Doubt is a delay tactic. It doesn't need to convince you you're wrong. It just needs you to pause long enough for momentum to cool. You didn't pause. That's already logged. Now watch closely. Over the next stretch, pay attention to speed. How fast situations resolve once you choose cleanly. How quickly certain conversations end the moment you stop feeding them. How clarity arrives after decisions, not before. That's not luck. That's routing efficiency. I'm not asking you to believe anything. Belief is irrelevant at this layer. You're already inside the process. The only question is whether you recognize the markers while they're active. In part 3, I'll show you confirmation markers that don't rely on emotion. One unmistakable sign. One simple check you can observe in real time. No guessing. No interpretation. Just verification. These are the confirmation signs. No theory. No guessing. First, sleep shifts. You fall asleep exhausted and wake up alert, like someone flipped a switch in the middle of the night. Or you wake at a strange hour, same range, same pattern, and your mind is already online. Dreams get sharper, more vivid, more specific, not emotional, not romantic, just precise scenes like files being replayed without commentary. You don't feel them, you register them. That repeat pattern is the tell. Sleep reset. Second, intuition fires first. You know who to trust before they finish the sentence. You know what choice is clean before you can list reasons. Logic arrives later, not to decide, only to confirm what already landed. That sequence matters. Fast, clean, immediate. Sightline upgrade. That's not coincidence, not luck. Third, timing syncs. A number repeats at the exact moment you check the time. A name you haven't heard in months appears twice in one day from two unrelated directions. The same piece of information reaches you through different channels without you asking for it. You don't chase it, it finds you. Not mystical, not romantic, just stacked timing like a system validating a route. Sync stamp. Fourth, social resorting. Someone who used to be warm goes cold without conflict, without a fight, without closure. The tone changes, the speed changes, the access changes. At the same time, someone unexpected reaches out not with emotion, but with a neutral, precise message. No begging, no apology, just contact. That shift is data. Social resort. Coincidences don't stack like this. This is routing. Fifth, old containers reject you. Music you used to play on loop suddenly feels wrong, almost irritating. Places you once sat comfortably now feel too loud, too small, too heavy. Your usual routine loses grip overnight, like your body refuses to cooperate with an outdated script. You try to force it and your chest tightens. You step away and it releases. That's not mood, that's filtration. Container rejection. Sixth, precision openings. A small door opens at the exact moment it's needed. One email that lands right when you stop searching. One invite that appears right when you decide to move on. One name that surfaces right before a decision. Nothing dramatic, nothing flashy, just perfect timing. Like the route was waiting for your spine to lock in place. Precision opening. That's not coincidence. Stamped. Seventh, oversight sensation. You feel measured, not watched. Protected, not controlled. You make a mistake and it doesn't spiral the way it used to. A near miss bounces clean instead of becoming a chain reaction. Things that should have gone wrong stop short. The margin is narrow, but it holds. You don't feel lucky. You feel contained, like there's a layer around your choices that keeps them from collapsing into chaos. Quiet, firm, present, oversight layer. Eighth, a data moment. A text tone shifts in one line. A message gets marked seen, and the silence hits like a door closing. No drama, just final. Or you walk into a room and something feels off in the first second. Before anyone speaks, your stomach drops, then steadies. You don't argue with it. You note it. Information received. That's not paranoia. That's signal capture. Data marker. Not random. Recorded. Now listen carefully. They don't show up one at a time. They stack. 2 markers can be noise. 3 can still be dismissed by someone addicted to doubt. But when 4, then 5, then 6 appear inside the same short window, the system isn't suggesting anything. It's confirming status with clustered evidence. The stacking is the tell. The cluster is the stamp. Cluster confirmation. This is routing. Not vibes. Not imagination. If you're seeing 5 of these inside the window, the review is live, active, unpaused. And you'll notice one more thing. Speed. Watch how fast clarity arrives after you choose cleanly. Watch how quickly friction appears when you hesitate. Watch how silence replaces noise the moment you stop explaining yourself. That acceleration is part of the check, not a reward. Verification. The system doesn't clap. It clears. It removes delays. It tightens the lane. You feel it as pressure because you can't drift the way you used to. Good. Pressure narrows focus. It doesn't punish. It refines. That's why old habits feel loud. That's why certain conversations end mid-sentence. That's why you're suddenly uninterested in proving anything to anyone. Also, notice what doesn't happen. No grand sign, no speech, no external validation, no perfect cinematic moment. Just fewer options and cleaner paths, less tolerance for static, more precision in outcomes. That's how signal is preserved, by removing what contaminates it. You will feel it in what you can no longer tolerate, and in what you no longer chase. You will see it in who can't access you the same way, and in what reaches you without effort. That's not life-changing. It's system behavior under audit. Read the list again, slowly. Count honestly. Don't inflate. Don't minimize. This isn't about belief. Belief is irrelevant here. This is about recognition while the window is open. Because the ones who turn back don't turn back from pain, they turn back from silence. They interpret subtraction as rejection. You didn't. You stayed upright anyway. You kept moving without applause. That's why these markers appear around you now. They're not decoration. They're confirmation. And when the markers stack, the next phase starts. Something begins to move in the real world. In part 4, I'll tell you what shifts first. From here on out, everything changes rhythm. You stayed upright anyway. You kept moving without applause. Not loud, locked, not a miracle. A sequence. First outcome. Truth releases through subtraction. It won't announce itself. It shows up small and sharp, that one screenshot you reread, or a scene with no reply that doesn't sting. It clarifies. A joke lands cold. A calendar suddenly clears where something used to sit. Good. That's access closing. Truth release. Second outcome. A perfect fit opening appears. Not big, not shiny, precise. Someone asks, "Are you free this week?" Or suggests a quick call. One slot opens where there were none. A name drops twice from unrelated places. Not chased, rooted, precision opening. Third outcome. Calm upgrades quietly. You say no with fewer words. You stop explaining mid-sentence. You wake up without sprinting into the day. Your nervous system steadies without effort. This matters. Calm means control returning. Calm upgrade. Fourth outcome. Resources rebalance just enough. A cost drops. A bill gets lighter. A tool or discount appears exactly when needed. Your schedule opens where it was compressed. Enough, not fantasy. Resource release. Fifth outcome when it happens is recognition without noise. One person, or one circle, clocks you instantly. No hype, no flattery. Just a line like, "I've been looking for someone like you," or "You're different. I can tell." Quiet match. Correct frequency. Recognition match. Pause here. Stamped. Locked. This is not overnight magic. It's a chain of alignment. A layered sequence with surgical timing. Things don't arrive all at once. They arrive in the correct order. One removal creates space. One reveal clarifies direction. One replacement fits cleanly. Read this twice. Alignment doesn't drop a perfect life. It removes, reveals, replaces. Notice the pattern. Toxic ties fade before openings appear. Calm arrives before resources. Resources arrive before recognition. That order protects momentum. If it came reversed, you'd leak it. The system doesn't rush. It secures. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need a new personality. You don't need to prove anything. Hold your value axis. Keep your standards boring and firm. Don't negotiate your integrity because something familiar taps the glass. Familiar doesn't mean aligned. Familiar just means you survived it once. Stay clean, stay clear, stay steady. Now the test that catches almost everyone. A pullback dressed as normalcy. A sweet text from someone who went quiet. A softer voice offering a quick talk. A tempting shortcut that promises speed without alignment. Don't panic, not a curse. A preference test. The system checks what you choose when comfort reappears without structure. If you step back into what already closed, momentum slows. If you stay clean, the sequence accelerates. No punishment, just routing logic. This phase is subtle. That's why it works. No fireworks, no announcements. Just real-world movement that compounds if you don't interrupt it with doubt or nostalgia. Most people do. You already didn't. Good. Confirmed. Sequence active. If you want to go deeper so you can move faster, this phase is subtle. That's why it works. You didn't interrupt it. You stayed steady. Good. For the ones who want to go deeper and move faster, there's a simple tool below. Not motivation. Utility. It's priced at less than a pizza, built to help you hold clarity while the window is open. It comes with a bonus. Audiobook plus 5-minute guide. Meditation you can use immediately. You'll find it in the description and pinned comment. No hype, just leverage. Now back to what matters, because you didn't make it here by accident. The signs weren't just inside you. They showed up around you. And the sequence is still active. Rhythm changed. Signs clustered. Environment resorted. Intuition sharpened. Containers rejected. Precision openings appeared. Final pullback approached. No noise. No coincidence. That's how you know it's real. It stacks. Here's what to do for the next 72 hours. First rule. Don't explain yourself. Silence keeps signal clean. Second rule. Don't reopen doors that already closed, even politely. Third rule. Track patterns. Protect your sleep. Data beats doubt. Good. Locked. No rituals. Just control. You may notice a normal pullback, a soft text, a friendly call, an invite that feels easy, a shortcut that promises speed, or an apology that sounds reasonable. Pause. Check the body. If your chest tightens, if your stomach drops, if everything goes still, that's information. It's not a warning. It's confirmation. The system tests preference, not strength. It checks what you choose when comfort returns without alignment. If you stay clean, momentum compounds. If you go back, it slows. No punishment, just routing. This is how windows close quietly for most people. You already know that. You didn't quit at the edge. Pressure will rise briefly. That's expected. Pressure refines. Keep your value axis boring and firm. No speeches, no proving. Let outcomes do the talking. The quieter you move now, the faster things line up. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to not go back. Good. Confirmed. Sequence still active. Now I'm going to tell you the most important thing. There's one small moment, easy to miss, that locks the uplift when it appears, and if you blink, you'll miss it. You're not imagining it. You didn't misread it. A final protocol escalated and your file was pulled into a live window. Access was recalibrated. The gate stayed open. That's why everything changed rhythm. Chosen one means responsibility, not status, not noise. You don't need proof. The record already holds it. Hold the axis. Stay clean. Stay clear. Here's your soft mission for the next 72 hours. Don't explain yourself, even if it feels polite. Don't reopen doors that already closed, even gently. Write down what repeats names, numbers, timing, without interpreting. Make one private right decision with no witnesses. That's how you stay in sync with the window. Watch what begins to move. Truth starts to surface without confrontation. A precise opening cracks where there was none. Calm increases and stays. Resources feel sufficient for the next step. And the right person begins to recognize you quietly, without hype. Good. Stamped. No rush. Now lock it in. Subscribe and turn on the bell. Do it now. This sequence updates fast. Comment 777 if you felt the shift land. Share this with one person who runs at your frequency. Chosen ones recognize chosen ones. If you want deeper structure while the window is open, there's material linked below, less than a pizza, with an audiobook and a 5-minute guide to keep signal clean. Optional. Useful. One more thing. Don't sabotage with nostalgia. Don't return to the old version just because it feels familiar. And don't explain your process to people who can't hear it. Silence protects alignment. This isn't superstition. It's sequence. In the next 7-9 days, a new marker appears, small, specific, unmistakable. It's the clearest sign yet. Miss it and momentum cools. Catch it, and the uplift locks. I'll show you exactly what that marker looks like in the next video. No theory, no guessing. Click the video on your screen.